gentlemen. A little girl would always say, I must work. I want a lot of money. You may wonder, why? Why did the little girl say this? Her life suddenly collapsed. Her parents divorced when she was only 4 years old, and her brother was just a baby. Her father disappeared, leaving her mother with a large household debt. From that time, her mother worked day and night, but their situation didn't improve. The little girl was left alone with her brother and had to take care of him by herself. For breakfast, lunch, and dinner, they always had a small bowl of rice with salt or soy sauce. Every day, she felt very lonely, hungry, and miserable, and only wished to find a way out. That's why she said she wanted a lot of money. Now, I don't want you to be surprised, but that little girl is me. This is my actual life story. Child poverty. When you hear the words, what country do you think of first? South Africa, Cambodia, Somalia. Most of you will imagine these countries and would never consider Japan. However, as you see from my experience, child poverty is actually becoming a very serious problem in Japan. It is no longer a problem confined to third world countries. So today, I'm here to talk about child poverty in Japan, and at the end of my speech, I'll share my idea of a way that everyone can help them. From a global perspective, Japan is a wealthy country. However, today, I don't have enough money even to go to the hospital because all I can do is to pay for my room, living costs, and expenses at my university. But besides me, a lot of children are facing such difficulties in Japan. In fact, according to the Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare, about 1 in 6 children are suffering from poverty in Japan. They live in households that are less than half Japan's median family income, and thus lead hard lives, like me. Can you imagine how things will turn out if we leave the matter as it is? The Nippon Foundation provided the data showing that if we don't deal with this problem, Japan will suffer a loss of about 4 trillion yen within 50 years. Individual incomes and tax revenues will decline, while social security expenses will increase, leading to a loss of national income. The burden will fall not only upon the poor, but also on everyone here in this hall today. In this aging society with a low birth rate, who will show the future of our country? Without doubt, it is our children. Only children can help and change our country. However, the picture is grim. Today in Japan, a person's income tends to be determined by the education level. According to Sankei newspaper, more than 90% of householders who receive welfare benefits discontinue their education either at junior or senior high school level. That is to say, if we want to be sure to have a stable income, we need to graduate from university. This is why I wanted to enter university, knowing that education was my only means to escape poverty. However, my course of study to the present has not been easy. While many of my friends went to cram schools or hired private teachers almost every day, but I couldn't. Of course, I was able to ask my school teachers for help on weekdays, but on days off, I wasn't able to. I didn't have anyone who could support me every day. This is the key point. Children of low-income families don't have people who can always help them. On the other hand, high-income parents spend a lot of money sending their children to homeschools or hiring private teachers. This is how the educational gap grows. This situation continues from parents to children and from them to their children. This cycle is called the chain of poverty, and this is the direct cause of today's child poverty. Now, as everyone knows, in order to solve child poverty, these children need to break the chain of poverty. And to accomplish this, education plays a very important role. So, what can we do for these children? When I had to study for exams, I often went to a study room. There were always some university student volunteers who became teachers for us, younger students for free. I was helped a lot. They eased me of my anxiety about studying. For children of low-income families, such volunteer activities are a necessity. Luckily, we can easily participate in a non-profit organization called Kids Door. Kids Door helps children of low-income families by providing free tutors to prepare them for entrance exams in various places. We can support Kids Door by contributing money or books, teaching as a volunteer, or advertising their activities by social networking services. I'm already participating in Kids Door, so let's help the children together. They need your support. Even today, I'm facing poverty problems. I'm completely independent from my mother, and I have to work at least 6 days a week to go to university. But I don't think that it is hard, because I believe that this is my first step to break the chain of poverty and prevent the next child poverty cycle. Ladies and gentlemen, now the children like me need your help. Your support can provide them with a chance to break the chain of poverty. So please help them. You can be a beacon of their hope. Thank you for listening.
Then we'll have question and answer session for 4 minutes. Mr. Kusama, please.
Okay, thank you very much, Hirasawa-san. I totally agree to your suggestion that we offer volunteer work to those kids you're talking about. Said that, I just wonder whether the logically, I wonder if higher education can break the chain that you mentioned. The thing is that you are now educated there, and then could get into Tohoku. Eh? And when you try to find a job after graduation from university, or if you apply for company A, for example, and if you were successful in being hired, but since that company has the ceiling, and the number of the maximum number of people to be newly hired, there's a ceiling. They have a fixed number of people to be newly hired. So somebody else has to be kicked out of the company A, right? You are newly employed at company A, but instead somebody else is kicked out, out of the company A. And that person will apply for the job in the company B, and if successful, somebody else from company B will be kicked out, and that goes on and on, like domino effect. And what happens at the end of the day is that the last person in that total picture again goes into that cycle we were talking about, vicious cycle. So, in the end, nothing's happened by breaking nothing like breaking the chain happens. Am I correct?
I think that it is a little bit true, but today in Japan, children can't choose their jobs, wider range of jobs, child in poverty, because they have no academic skills. So, for example, finance company don't receive them as the first step, like entry seat. If children don't have good education, famous company don't receive their entry seat, even in entry seat. So children in poor can't stand on the third line like everywhere. For example, university students, yeah.
Yeah, I know that. I know that what you're talking about. But my point here is that highly more educated person can get the job in company A, but somebody else is kicked out of the company A, and that person, the last person in that chain, would go into the vicious cycle again. Nothing happened at the end of the day. Is that correct? Because under the current economic depression, no companies try to increase the number of newcomers, but rather they try to cut down the headcount or even replace the regular employees with the temps. So under such circumstances, is it really possible that higher education means breaking the chain? That's my question.
I think the possibility to break the chain is surely increased because all of children can have right to choose jobs. So in this situation, there is an equal situation between children in low-income families and high-income families. So I want to banish this gap between high-income parents and low-income parents. And after that, even whether the people who always kick down my company is now I don't consider about that. I want to give them a right to entry the companies.
Well, not sure I understand you. Let's talk about that at the reception, shall we?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much.